Apparently, not long after that time, she ended her life. Welcome back, we finished the basement, and today we are going mining and looting from the village, so enjoy while I read some Reddit stories. Trans woman SA me, and later ended herself. Almost 3 years ago, I was traveling solo through Asia. 3 months long, I've been exploring different counties and meeting new people. In Japan, I met this girl from Sweden. She was nice and sweet, and we really connected. For me, not romantically, but as friends. Because traveling is expensive, we decided to share hotel rooms because our travel plan matched well. In the first evenings, I gave her room and left often outside when she prepared to sleep. On the third night, we went out drinking with a lot of other tourists. We came back drunk around 3 a.m. and I wanted to sleep quickly. During preparing to sleep, I saw that she has a penis. She told me she's trans and that she likes me a lot. I told her I'm cool with her being trans, but that I'm not interested in anything. She started to come closer to me and touching me inappropriately. I forced her of me and told I don't want to do anything. She got mad and yelled at me that it's no different than any other girl. Then she tried to touch me again, in which I threw her of me and in a drunken rage said a lot of transphobic shit at her. I graped my stuff and left the hotel. I've spent the night on the street and came back in the morning. She was gone, and also all her stuff. I blocked all contact details I had of her and went to a different hotel. I found my peace with it and continued my trip without any problems. Last year, I got a text from a Swedish number. The person texting me introduced herself as the girl's sisters. Apparently, not long after that time, she ended her life when she came back to Sweden. In her note, she mentioned me only as the Dutch guy. Her sister spent a couple months trying to figure out who I was. Through another travel we met, she managed to figure out the hotel we stayed in. The hotel was booked under my name, and by lying, they gave her my number. She told me that in the note, I was mentioned as the guy that ruined her. She didn't blame me as the reason she did it, and also apologized in the letter, but she stated that our interaction was the last drop for her. Her sister was not angry at me, but wanted to understand what happened. I told my story as detailed as I can remember it. Her family wanted me to come to Sweden, so talk and to visit the grave. I told them off, and what happened was not my fault or responsibility in any way. I blocked them and moved on. Sexual assault is sexual assault. Trying to guilt trip a victim into visiting their assaulter's grave just because she ended her life afterward is toxic, manipulative, and completely unhinged. The next story is, my fiance's mom handed me a wedding gift a week before the wedding, and it was a DNA test kit. That's not a joke. That's not a typo. My future mother-in-law, Linda, sat me down at her kitchen table, slid a small box across to me, and said, "I just think it's important for everyone to know the truth before you say I do." I laughed. I genuinely thought she was messing with me, but her face didn't move. Not even a little. See, my fiancé, Caleb, has always looked different from his dad. Darker hair, darker eyes, nothing like the rest of that blonde, blue-eyed family. It was a running joke at Thanksgiving. "Mailman's kid," his uncle used to say, laughing. Caleb laughed too. Nobody ever meant it, except apparently Linda did. She told me she'd had suspicions for 28 years and that she needed closure before her son started a family of his own. She wanted me to be the one to get him to swab his cheek. Like, I was supposed to slip it into conversation. "Hey babe, love you, want to casually find out if your dad is your dad?" I told her no. I told her that wasn't my place, and honestly, wasn't hers either, not a week before the wedding. She got quiet. Then she said something I will never forget. "If you don't ask him, I will tell him myself at the rehearsal dinner." I didn't sleep that night. I kept staring at that box on my dresser like it was a bomb. Because here's the thing. If I said nothing and she really did it in front of 200 people, Caleb would never forgive me for not warning him. But if I told him, I'd be the one who blew up his relationship with his mom forever over something that might not even be true. So I made a decision that honestly still makes my stomach turn. I told Caleb everything. Every word. I put the box in his hands and just said, "Your mom gave me this. She says she's known for years." He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just sat there quiet for a long time, turning the box over in his hands. Then he looked at me and said, "She's known my whole life and let me find out like this." He drove to her house that night. I don't know what was said. I wasn't there. But 3 days later, we still got married. His dad walked him down, sorry, walked me down the aisle. Actually, his dad gave a speech that made the whole room cry. Linda didn't come. Caleb took the test 2 weeks after the wedding. Just him, alone, in the bathroom at 2 a.m. His dad is his dad, and he hasn't spoken to his mother since. Throwing away 28 years of a mother's love over a paranoid mistake, especially when the test proved he was his dad's son, is peak immaturity. Caleb completely overreacted. And the third one. I found my boyfriend's second phone. I wish he was cheating. Joined me, and my boy Tryen started dating around 6 months ago. It was the first relationship I've ever had. I had never been so happy. It was like we were meant to be. I met him at a coffee shop I frequent. I started noticing him there anytime I went. Sometimes I'd catch him staring, and he'd look around all embarrassed whenever Elle did. I thought it was the cutest thing. After a while, I found myself silently hoping that he'd come over and ask to sit with me. We'd been playing eye tag for a couple of weeks, smirking and laughing at each other, but neither of us had taken the extra step of introducing ourselves. When he finally did, I felt butterflies start flapping around in my stomach like never before. His smoldering blue eyes, that curly black hair, and his cute little freckles. I'm not afraid to admit that I was smitten. Our relationship grew from there. We were seeing each other every weekend, catching movies, having dinner, playing some mini golf. I knew it was a honeymoon phase. I just didn't care. He made me feel wanted, and that was just not something I was entirely used to. He'd show up with my favorite flowers, favorite candies, always knew the right thing to say. I don't want to ramble. I just can't get over how perfect I thought he was. Things started to go a bit sideways one night at a sleepover at his house. I had gotten up to pee late at night, and as I groggily dragged myself to the bathroom, I could have swore I heard the vibration of a phone coming from his sock drawer. I was too tired at the time to really pay it any attention, but it was still fresh in my mind the next day. I asked him about it, and he got defensive enough for me to become suspicious. He showed me all of his drawers, though, and there was no phone in sight. That kind of subsided my suspicion a bit. A few weeks went by without issue. We never argued. He made me feel like the only girl in the world. Then we had another sleepover. Yet again, after he was fast asleep, the vibrations of a cell phone came echoing, this time from his closet. This time around, I was awake enough to actually investigate, but once I did, I immediately regretted it. Hidden within an old shoebox that was buried beneath a stack of blankets, I found it. A second cell phone. The screen was lit up with storage full notifications, but what caught my attention was the wallpaper. It was me, asleep in bed. I wasn't even the wallpaper on his actual phone. Seeing myself like this only made my mind race more. I couldn't help myself. Luckily, he didn't have a password to unlock the phone, but what he did have a password for was his photos. I took a wild guess. That's why I think it was fate that made this discovery. I put in my birthday, and the Photos app unlocked. My jaw dropped, and my heart sank. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of pictures, and they were all of me. Some were of me at his house, on the toilet, in the shower, sleeping in his bed, but some were from places that didn't make sense to me. Me at the coffee shop, reading a book, me walking home from school, standing in line at the grocery store, me outside my apartment, fishing around in my purse for my keys. More than anything, though, there were pictures of me asleep in my own apartment. Some were taken from my window, my second-story window. Others were taken from inside the apartment. I kept scrolling, and the more I did, the more terrified I became. The photos dated back to at least 2 years ago. Family dinners, early morning jogs, study sessions in the library. I was getting sick to my stomach. As I scrolled, a noise from behind me snapped me out of my trance. The sound of my boyfriend's bed creaking and squeaking from his shifting weight. He called my name. Once. Twice. 3 times. I never responded. I heard his footsteps rush up behind me. They stopped a few inches from my back. Instead of asking what I was doing, apologizing, or even attempting to grab his phone, he began laughing, cackling. Like a madman, and as I stood there too paralyzed to turn around, he finally spoke again. "Happy anniversary, sweetheart." Unpopular opinion. You'll read dark romance novels where the morally grey male lead stalked the main character for years and call it romantic. But when a guy shows 2 years of pure dedication in real life, suddenly it's terrifying. The last one is 26 days ago, Fire Engineering 9195, my wife is constantly sleeping with her colleague. after we opened our marriage, and I'm starting to regret it. My wife, 33, and I, 31, have been married for 6 years. Our relationship has always been strong, and our sex life was great. We genuinely love each other and have amazing chemistry. A few months ago, she started talking a lot about her new colleague, like how good looking he is, how funny he is, etc. Last month during a team building trip, she got drunk and texted me saying she really wanted to fuck with him. I was surprised, but I appreciated her honesty. Instead of cheating, she asked for my permission. I said yes. After they slept together, we talked about it and agreed to open our marriage with one rule. Each of us could have one person on the side. I haven't acted on my side yet, but my wife has been seeing her colleague constantly. Last weekend, they even went on a 2-day trip together, and she said they barely left the bed. She also casually tells me details like giving him blowjobs in his office room at work, or how she stayed with him until midnight yesterday and had sex multiple times, including anal. Even though I gave her permission, I'm starting to feel really weird and uncomfortable about how often and intensely this is happening. I'm not sure if I'm just jealous, insecure, or if we move too fast with this arrangement. Has anyone been in a similar situation? How do you deal with these feelings when your partner is much more active in the open relationship than you are? And there is an update on this story. Thank you everyone for the replies. There were a lot of questions, so I'll try to clear things up. First of all, this didn't come out of nowhere. We had discussed opening our marriage years ago. We agreed that we didn't want random hookups with different people all the time. Instead, we would each choose one specific person to see on the side. When my wife started talking about her coworker, I jokingly said a couple of times, "I guess you found your person," and she would laugh and drop the topic. So when she texted me from the team building event asking for permission, I already had that background in mind. That's why I said yes. We wanted to open the marriage because we love each other deeply and have great chemistry. But we were both curious about adding some spice and new experiences to our sex life. When it actually happened, she wasn't planning to tell me any details. I'm the one who started asking questions because I thought hearing about it might turn me on. Instead, it made me feel sad and uneasy. She noticed I was asking, so she thought it was okay to keep sharing. That's why I heard everything like the office stuff, the anal, the 2-day trip where they barely left the bed, etc. The 2-day trip was the moment it really hit me. That's when I started losing respect for myself. Now I'm at a point where I don't want to continue with the open stuff. So this wasn't opening a marriage, this was a woman having an active affair with a coworker and tricking her spineless husband into greenlighting it so she wouldn't feel guilty. Thanks for watching, and keep up for the next video.